Okay, I am Sergeant Goff, looking to Papa 6 range card. Your task is prepare a range card for a machine gun. Your condition. You are a member of a platoon gun team at a defensive fighting position in a non-seaburn environment. You have a tripod mounted machine gun with a traversing and elevation mechanism. Greater will then identify the primary sector of fire with recognizable targets for a PDF and your alternate sector of fire with recognizable targets. Or do you see the bright orange flag out there?
I do.
That is your right limit of fire. On the front of you is a tan and green mock-up. Do you see the white shade in between the tan and green mock-up?
Yes.
That is your left limit of fire for your primary sector. On the front of you is a bright yellow target. Do you identify that?
Yes.
It is your right limit of fire for your alternate sector. Way out there in the back of this field are some tan posts. You see the tan post?
Yes.
Your left limit of fire is going to be the farthest left post. In your primary sector, these 4 targets in front of you, there's a bright yellow one, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. You see those?
Yes.
Those are the 4 targets in your primary sector of fire. The bright yellow target is going to be your PDF. The 2 targets in your secondary sector of fire is targets Delta and targets Echo. In the middle of those 3 targets is target Foxtrot. Do not use target Foxtrot.
Okay.
Standard. Correctly perform all tasks within 20 minutes. Requirements. Alright. Verify all zeros.
All zeros?
Begin.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill out all my data on the range card. Let me get over here so y'all can see. Alright. Top left, I'm filling out squad, platoon, and company. 1, 2, Alpha. Alright. My magnetic north. I know my north is that direction right there. Alright. Today's date. It is the 25th. I'm filling out the date as a date time group. You have the time? Oh, watch on me.
The time will be 09:53.
Alright. 09:53. I'm putting that Lima for local time. NOV for November 2020. My weapon is an M240. Each circle equals 50 meters. I am labeling 4 targets for my primary sector. Target 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to pre-label my direction and elevation in mils, so I don't have to worry about it later. Mils is an M with a dash through it, diagonal dash. I'm going to pre-label my range in meters. I'm going to fill out my ammo. It's 7.62 millimeter. That is MM for all 4 targets. My target number 1 is my PDF. So I'm going to label that under my description as PDF. Targets 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to label as target in open. On the back side, underneath my range card, God, oh, it's wet. Underneath my range card, I have a protractor and a map. On the map is a pre-plotted point. I will use the protractor and the map to get the point for my position identification. My position identification consists of the grid. So the grid is 16 Sierra Delta Fox 5 7 8 5 5 3 9er 2. And I will also in that same block put down primary because this is my primary position. Now I'm going to move up to my sector sketch area of the range card, and I'm going to draw out my primary sector and my secondary sector. I'm going to use my protractor as a straight edge here. All right, the lines for my primary sector are going to be solid. They're going to go all the way through the last circle on the range card, and they will be tipped with an arrow. The lines on my secondary sector are going to be dotted, a broken line, going all the way up to the last circle, but not through it or past it. There we go. All right, in between my primary and secondary sectors, I'm going to label that as dead space. For me, that's just diagonal lines. You can put it as whatever you want for your dead space, as long as you label it in your remarks section. All right. Next, I know that wood line, the farthest identifiable terrain feature in my sector, I know that is 430 meters away. So I'm going to measure out 430 because each circle equals 50 meters. And I'm going to label my tree line.
Meters.
All right. I have a road roughly 10 to 15 meters in front of me, and I'm going to put that in my primary sector as well. I'm going to label it. Okay? I'm going to come down here. You do not have to label anything in the remarks, but I'm going to right now. All right. Next, all right. I'm going to get the two targets in my secondary sector. Targets Delta and targets Echo. Yeah. All right. Target Delta, all right, I'm going to estimate at a range of 200 meters. So I'm going to measure out 200 meters, 50, 100, 150, 200. I'm going to plot my target down. And I'm going to put 200 meters over top of it. I'm going to label that target at 200 meters. My next target, I'm going to say that is 250 meters. So I'm gonna label that at 250 meters. Oops. All right, and that's it for that. My primary target, my PDF, and my primary sector. All right, I'm labeling I'm plotting down all my targets right now. I'm gonna say that's 50 meters away, so I'm gonna plot that down at 50 meters away. I'm gonna put a 1 over top of that and circle it. My target number 2, my next closest target, I'm gonna say is target alpha at 75 meters away, so I'm gonna plot that on my range card as well. I'm gonna label that as number 2 and circle it. I'm gonna do this for the last remaining 2 targets in my sector. That one's about 90. And that one is at about 100, 110. Okay. Now I have the range card completely filled out. Only thing I need now is to get the mills to my left and right limit. So I'm gonna get behind the gun. I'm going to traverse the gun over to my right limit, if I can, without getting all stuck up here. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And my point of aim under my optic is the 10 MZ line. Okay. Once I do that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get the mills off of my tripod, my T&E. I'm going to say that is 150.
So you have 10 minutes remaining.
156, I'll say. So my right limit is 156 mils. My left limit, let me get to my left limit now. There we go. That is 608 mils. Okay. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to work on my targets now. I'm going to get my PDF. Alright, my point of aim is at the base of the target where the picket and the target intersect. And I'm going to use that in mils. I'm going to get the mils off of that. I will say that is 327 mils for my deflection. I'll write that down here. 327 mils in my deflection, and then 202 mils in my elevation at a range of 50 meters. Right? Then we go to the next closest target, target alpha. Come on. Alright. That is at 407 mils. 407 mils for my deflection. And 208 mils on my elevation at a range of 75 meters. Target Bravo. Alright, and I'm just working my way from the closest target to the furthest target. I want to say that's 263 mils. For deflection and 223 mils for my elevation at a range of approximately 90 meters. And then I might get the same for my last target. Alright. So the range deflection of 524 mils. 524 mils deflection and 234, correction, 234 mils elevation at a range of 110 meters. Okay, so on my mils I have a error of the margin of error is 54 mils. So, and then I have to be within 20%. Right down here, again, something that I don't have to do, but I'm going to label my targets. In my remark section, and then I'm going to label my trees, my tree line, in my data section. Another thing I don't have to do, but I'm going to do it anyways, just for good practice, is I'm going to put dead space behind my tree line on my range card.
You have 5 minutes remaining.
Alright. And that is all I need to do.
Alright, are you done?
I am done.
Alright, time stops at 15:28. At this time you are go.